Let's start with that one.
Yeah,
so we got the buzzer
Let's do
beaters here. We got a bunch of games. Let's start with that one. Texans defeat the Bengals. A little audible. We're going to do that second, but this is how, like, in the moment we are right now.
Yeah. Well,
Pete back there, Gabby, Morgan.
And you're a QB. You're the QB of this show. Sometimes you got to call it audible. You got to check,
kill.
Right.
But then I heard today. You know what I heard today?
What did you hear today?
Reload.
Reload.
Does that mean don't? So we killed it. Reload it. Just do that other play again.
Exactly right.
Okay.
Very well. You're right. So sometimes you get a look. You get the look on defense. You go can or kill.
Yeah.
Means kill the first play. But then, like, the defense is kind of disguising, and they go back to what you originally thought they might do.
Yeah.
And then you got to go reload, and everybody knows, okay, that goes back to the original play. Look at
could,
you listening,
I
though.
could be an NFL quarterback.
Damn, you could be. Only if they didn't ask you to throw or take a hit.
Yeah.
You'd be one.
Yeah, I would be broken in two. Texans defeat the Bengals. What a game, 30-27. I was just at Ohio State too.
Yeah,
and Ryan Day was there, and of course C.J. Stroud was lighting it up at Ohio State, but not lighting it up to this extent. And Todd Blackledge asked Ryan Day, he goes, "Hey, are you surprised at all what you're seeing from CJ?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "No, not surprised. He's been quieting doubters for a long time." But I do wonder if a part of like Ryan Day, and they made it far last year, and they were a kick away from making it to the national championship game. But part of you is just like, man, he didn't look like this. He looked good. He didn't look like this his entire college career.
No, he did not. And I think we saw glimpses of it. I think if you unpack it like we did during the draft process, and you start to look at it, you start to go, damn, there are a lot of good throws, right? It's a lot of nice plays in the pocket. He puts the ball where he wants to all the time, and that continued today. I mean, it did. And they overcame. First off, they got out to a 20-10 lead, or 20-7, I should say, and it really probably should have been worse than that. That's where the game, and this is their resiliency, is amazing. They get down there far on one drive. He fumbles a 4th-and-1 snap. Okay, they got down there in field goal territory. Another time, he got strip sacked by Logan Wilson. Right? So they left some points on the board. It was one of those games at one point in the second quarter where you went, damn, they're going to go win at 10-7, and it feels at halftime, and you go, it felt like they totally outplayed Cincinnati. And it kind of gave you the feeling of, in the second half, Cincinnati's going to wake up and watch out. But it was just the opposite. Texans came out and really kind of put the pressure on Cincinnati. Cincinnati had to start opening up the offense, taking some chances there. Joe Burrow and company made a lot of big plays, definitely. Made some mistakes that we don't usually see him make. The interception in the end zone. Tyler Boyd with the drop touchdown pass at the end of the football game. Still, the shocking thing to me about the whole game is that, yes, 544 total yards of offense from the Texans on a Cincinnati Bengals defense that I think we all thought turned the corner and would be okay. And the Texans did whatever they wanted on them all day long. Pass game, run game, whatever they wanted. It was very impressive by them on the road.
Yeah, they're 5-4 now, are the Houston Texans. They trail the Jacksonville Jaguars by one game in the AFC South. And both of us in the preseason were saying, there are a lot of teams in the AFC that can make the playoffs. The one team that probably can't is Houston. And now I'm saying they probably can.
We're in trouble on that one. I might be in freezing cold takes for that one right there. That could be happening. Hey, we make proclamations. That's what we do. I think we're seeing one, when you have a special quarterback, you have a coach who's ready to be a head coach and understands how to, lead a football team. And then the other thing is you see what free agency and draft can do for a football team. And I think Nick Caserio, I owe him an apology in saying that he did a little better in the draft than I thought, especially when it comes to players that fit in this scheme. Right? And that's whether we talk about Will Anderson, but Jonathan Greener, we talked about. Mm-hmm. They get Sheldon Rankins in free agency. He's the perfect guy in the middle of this Seattle-type defense to create havoc. So they got a lot of things going. And then, of course, on the offensive side of the ball, they're trying to run the 49ers Shanahan offense, right? Bobby Slowick, they got a very good offensive line. We saw it even without Dameon Pierce. They had Devin Singletary had a huge day today. And they know how to get people open down the field. And then Stroud, it's like he's on a zip line with his ball to the receivers, no matter where they are. I know I've said all the superlatives about Stroud, but it's the throwing, it's decision-making, it's the wowness of the throws, it's the location of the high-difficulty throws, and then the nuance of, like we've talked about, I'm getting blitzed, I know where my hot route is. Or I'm about to take a sack and I know where to throw it away so I don't get, take a sack or get a grounding penalty. It's those things that are just above and beyond mature for a rookie quarterback.
Jason Garrett is all over your analysis that C.J. Stroud might be the best rookie quarterback we have ever seen. He was like, at first, I laughed.
I know,
Simms.
I think because
it was
he
one of those
me,
Simms moments. Like that's clearly
because
not
that's
true.
what I do. I know I make comments that are a little bold like that at times.
Yeah.
But I don't make them and just throw them out there. I think I did it like, like I told you last week. We were getting dressed for the show, and I was kind of going like, have I ever seen anybody have a rookie play like C.J. Stroud?
Yeah.
Like I was talking to myself. So then I came out in the pod and said it. I'm pretty good with football history and got a pretty good feel for that stuff. I know that there's some discussion there to be had, but damn, here in recent history, I don't remember anybody lighting up the yardage, the scoreboard, anything like that. The Houston, really impressive. I mean, one, I was shocked they ran the ball that way on Cincinnati's defense. Two, I was shocked that they gave Burrow and company a lot of problems for a while. It wasn't until maybe late third quarter where you started to feel like, Cincinnati finally got in a rhythm here and is starting to move the ball. But yeah, really good team win by the Houston Texans on the road.
James Lennox 19 says, damn okay, C.J. Stroud. He outplays Joe Burrow and the Texans, move ahead of the Bengals in the playoff standings. Is C.J. a legit MVP candidate?
Yeah.
And are the Texans contenders?
He is.
I guess he is, right?
Yeah, he is. He's definitely.
Like if anyone else was doing this, they would, like if Joe Burrow was doing this, 470 yards.
No, I hear you. I think with the stats, when you talk about the cast of weapons around him at receiver, I don't think any of us are sitting here going like, oh my gosh, they're loaded. Look at all these guys, right? So I think when you take all that into account, how they're winning some of these football games, the comeback against the Bucs, the comeback against the Bengals, after he throws a pick six and you think, or almost a pick six, excuse me, where you think, oh man, that's going to be the end of this day, right? Yeah. Whooping the Steelers in Houston, right? The things that'll go work against them, the early season, lost 2 games. They had that dud in Carolina, right? But I think for him to be in the conversation, I think is more than fair. And what I said to you, I think last week, I certainly said it to Floria, like, he's gone beyond this is a good rookie quarterback. This has gone like to, whoa, is he one of the 10 best quarterbacks in football already? And I think it's fair to say that.
Despite all this, I think this is not a situation where it's a sky is falling game for the Cincinnati Bengals because you mentioned it. They did have some trouble, but the first drive of the game, it was like big play, touchdown. I was like, oh boy, this could be their day. It's going to be rocking there in Cincinnati, and they're going to have a fun day. And then they go 3 and out on like 4 of their next 5 possessions. It didn't seem like they did anything. Right. But then still, they made some plays at the end. Like you mentioned, the interception down to the 5-yard line.
Yep,
DJ
the
Turner.
Bomb to Jamar Chase for the touchdown.
Right. Offensive plays,
right.
defensive plays with DJ Turner knocking one
the
away.
Ball,
and it was like, okay,
3 and out,
they're getting the ball back. So it's like they were still there despite having their struggles.
Yeah, I am a little surprised, like I said, about the Bengals defense. I am. I was a little surprised it took them so long to kind of get going on the offensive side of the ball. Burrow did move around. He avoided some sacks where he certainly was in trouble, a few times. But I'm not panicked about the Bengals. I guess I'm still just a little surprised their defense has had some of these moments so many times this year. All the big plays. I thought they had righted the ship in that department, right? A few weeks ago, we were on here talking about they were leading the NFL in their defense as far as letting up explosive plays. Yeah. Run game and pass game was kind of way up there, right? Where they went on this little win streak and you felt like, okay, they're simmering that down a little bit, and today it struck again. And, C.J. Stroud, his right arm, that offense, what they're doing there. And it honestly seemed like the Bengals had less, feel for how DeMeco Ryans runs that 49ers defense there in Houston as compared to when the Bengals played the 49ers a few weeks ago.
Sure.
They still got Steve Wilkes maybe with the training wheels on, and they picked that apart there. But DeMeco Ryans, I'm sure, threw them some curveballs with some of the things they did on that side of the ball.
All right,
today.
I want to go on to the next game, but I have to do I have to do this.
One more thing.
It is time for Inside the Numbers, powered by AWS, and this is going to take a look at C.J. Stroud one last time because he did something that we have not seen a whole lot of rookie quarterbacks do. Push the ball downfield in this victory against the Bengals. He averaged a career-high 11.9 air yards per attempt. He completed 11 of his 19 passes over 10 yards down the field for almost 259 yards.
That's insane.
5 of 7 on deep passes for 146 total yards. And so, that just reiterates the point that you have been making. These are the degree of difficulty throws for C.J. Stroud, amazing.
This isn't shovel pass or, some freak receiver coming around and I shovel it to you like right in front of you and I get passing yards even though you run for 60 yards or screens out in the edge. They don't have that. You know, that's what we've been trying to wax poetically so much about this guy, right? You know, you've heard me. I've been making fun of it. It's not like it's dink and dunk and we're managing the guy. It's literally like, hey, we need you to throw flamethrowers and lasers all over the football field to some good receivers, not great receivers. And he just has continued to push the ball down the field with ease, be incredibly accurate, has great feel in the pocket, never takes stupid sacks. All of it is on the up and up. And he is, like, without a doubt, one of the best intermediate, like, 15-plus yard passes down the field quarterbacks in all of football. I mean, I would put him up there with the elite of the elite in that category. When you say, like, ooh, you need a 25-yard completion, right? I know we all think about Allen, Mahomes, Burrow, Justin Herbert. C.J. Stroud is up in that conversation for me now, without a doubt, right? He might have even surpassed Trevor Lawrence already here in that department. I know, and Trevor's the man. I know that. But I just can't get over, you know, the accuracy he has on these aggressive throws.
We might have to stop. They might have to issue a restraining order. This is getting a little creepy at this point. That was Inside the Numbers, powered by AWS on C.J. Stroud. It's just amazing. No one in football has thrown for more yards on throws of 10 or more yards
through
down
the air,
field,
right?
Through the air than C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, that's the thing. I know people have more yards per attempt than he does, but again, to me, that's all you've always heard me say. It's a little bit of a misleading stat. I think yards per completion is more. And then, you know, of course, you have to dive into that stuff because, you can get a 10-yard completion for throwing a screen 1 yard behind the line of scrimmage, and they give you, that was 10 yards on that attempt, right? And he's not getting that. And that's where context does matter when you dive into the Texans and C.J. Stroud.
Chris could go on for hours and hours on C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, seriously, you're making me seem like a stalker. Stop talking about him. Move on with this already.
AWS wanted us to continue to talk about it, so we did that for them.
Yo, what up, homies? Thanks for watching. Remember, subscribe to Chris Simms Unbuttoned. Right now, we got Sunday Pod, right? So you can have it Monday morning. We recap all the action. Wednesday, it's the What the Happened podcast. We're going to get deep in the weeds on the key matchups of the week. And then Thursday, I'm picking games with that jerk Floria. So you know where to find us, homies. Keep watching. Peace out. We'll see you.